Hi viewers, Andrew back again and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be something new. I've decided to do a mini review slash discussion on a film that I've fallen in love with. Now, the film is The White Ribbon, directed by Michael Heneke. Now, I've decided to post a video discussing this film because, to be completely honest, I don't think enough people here on YouTube know about the film. I've only come across 3 videos here on YouTube with this film in it, a couple of Blu-ray updates and 1 review. So I'm here to give my opinions on the film, sort of a little mini review I guess you could say, and just give my highest recommendation to everyone to go out and watch this film. It is absolutely phenomenal and I love it. So yeah, the title's The White Ribbon, directed by Michael Heneke, and that's the front cover there with one of the main characters from the film, Martin. And as you can see, it's won a stack of awards, all really well deserved. It's a slim case and the back of it there with some shots from the film. Special features wise, it's got a making of documentary, a portrait documentary of Michael Heneke, a Cannes Film Festival featurette, an interview with Michael Heneke, and the theatrical trailer. So there's some nice special features on the disc as well. As for the transfer, it looks phenomenal. This film's actually black and white, and for the time that it was set, it suits the overall theme of the film, of course, and it looks brilliant in HD, especially the winter scenes with the snow. They look nice and vibrant and crisp and look great on screen. As for the storyline in the film, it's kind of hard to talk about, but I'll try and do my best. So basically there's 2 sort of storylines running throughout the film. The main storyline, I guess you could say, is all the families living in a small German community with their day-to-day lives and events leading up to World War I. The film's set just over a year before the First World War. So that's sort of the main storyline of the film, just delving into the day-to-day lives of the families and characters living in this small community. But there's also another underlying storyline in which it builds and builds up as the film goes on, and its sinister acts start happening around the town and to certain members of the community. And of course, as the film goes on, they get more intense, brutal, and more frequent. And as the film goes on, because of the way certain characters throughout the film are treated, you start to get an idea of perhaps who's behind all these events. But the thing that I really like about this film is it can be interpreted in several different ways. The first one is, yes, quite possibly a certain group is involved, but then there's also the thought of, could it be a premonition or a vision of what's about to happen to this country during World War I? And there's also certain scenes throughout the film that sort of begin to question who might be doing it, involving certain characters and their interactions with other characters. It sort of leaves a little doubt in the back of your mind that, hey, are these people really involved? Because surely if they were, this character wouldn't be doing such and such. So it sort of definitely makes you think a bit. And of course, back in those times, corporal punishment was the norm, so it's a pretty brutal movie. A lot of bad things are happening in different families. There's a lot of psychological and physical abuse. And the name The White Ribbon does play a part in the film, but I'm not going to discuss it because it is sort of a spoiler to the overall storyline of the film and certain characters in the film. As for the story, it's absolutely brilliantly told. It's a fairly slow burning film and just set around 2.5 hours. It's a fairly long film as well, but at no point in time throughout the film was I ever bored. I was engaged from start to finish and thought it was pretty well paced and brilliantly told. Now, 3 main things stood out to me in this film that I absolutely fell in love with. And the first one definitely has to be the performances throughout the film. Now, this film has a very large cast of characters that all play a pretty significant role during the film. Whether it be a major role or a minor role, no cast member that I can honestly recall let the film down in any way. They all did a magnificent job in all the different performances. And the second thing that really impressed me was the use of cinematography throughout the film. A lot of the times you, the viewer, would just experience a still shot for a very long time, with characters not necessarily talking throughout the scene, but just moving about, interacting with the environment, stuff like that, while the camera was just positioned in a stationary position. And I thought that was brilliantly done. There was a lot of shots in the film where you experienced things from behind closed doors, so you knew exactly what was going on but you didn't see them, and I thought that was a really nice touch to the overall storyline and theme of the film. I thought it came across really, really well. And the third thing that really impressed me was there's certain characters in the film that are really harsh and brutal, and you really begin to sort of dislike them throughout the course of the film. But there's certain scenes throughout the film, and there's one scene in particular which I'm not really going to discuss too much, but if you've seen the film you'll know what I'm talking about. And it's to do with the priest. He loses something and he gets a gift given to him, and despite his brutal nature towards his family, especially the children, you really begin to feel a lot of empathy for him during that scene. And I think not only the performances but that particular scene and the way that it was told and directed was absolutely fantastic. So for an overall score for the film, I definitely would give it 4.5 stars. It's an incredible foreign film. Sure, it's a slow burner, but it's really well paced. It's got a really interesting storyline, a great cast of characters, and I loved it from start to finish. The only sort of niggle I have with the film would definitely be there was a few scenes throughout the film which left me a bit confused to do with certain characters. Because it's got such a large cast and they all play a pretty significant part in the film, and a lot of them have similar names and look the same, especially the children. And a few scenes especially sort of left me a bit confused as to what exactly was going on with the storyline, why it was happening, and which characters were involved. But I definitely think after multiple viewings my confusion for those scenes will be well and truly cleared up, and I'll be able to understand them a bit more. So other than that slight niggle, I have no other complaints about the film. Now of course it's a German film, so it's subtitled, and it took me about 10 minutes to really sort of get into it and not really notice the subtitles after that. And at no point during the film did the subtitles intrude or distract me from what was going on screen and the characters and the events that were happening on screen. At no point was I distracted at all, and the subtitles just blended in really well with the film. So yeah, if you're a fan of world cinema or foreign film and you've yet to see The White Ribbon, I cannot recommend it enough. It is a phenomenal film, definitely my favourite film of 2009, and it's got classic written all over it. So please do yourself a favour and go out and source yourself a copy of The White Ribbon. You won't be disappointed. Well, thank you for watching this film. This is my quick discussion and mini review on The White Ribbon. Feel free to comment, but if you've seen the film and you want to comment, either flick me a private message, because I'm pretty keen to discuss it a bit more in depth. But if you leave comments below, please keep them spoiler free so you don't ruin other people who haven't seen the film yet. You're not ruining their experiences. So please rate, comment and subscribe as usual, and thanks a lot for watching.